morning sunshine. I hope that you're well. Honey,
Today I'm reporting to you live from the Overlook Hotel in Utah. It was in this very bathroom that a maid claimed to have seen a ghost. She was fired after telling the manager, Mr. Ullman, about what she saw. There have been a couple of occurrences at this hotel that would make her story true. The old undertaker of the hotel killed his 2 daughters with a hatchet and shot his wife and then shot himself. Along with the man who died playing a game of croquet outside on the croquet court. It was in this very bathtub that a woman died after overdosing on medication after her lover left her alone. And now back to Jennifer, who's talking to the maid who was fired. We had our own viewing of the lady in the bathtub. Here's our clip that our cameraman took. Thank you, Chelsea. And now we're back in the studio. This is the maid that worked at the Overlook Hotel. She's chosen to keep her name secret. How long did you work at the Overlook Hotel before this occurrence happened?
I've worked for almost 5 years at the hotel. I was an honest worker there and I always did what I was asked. I enjoyed my job.
Okay. Were you shocked when Mr. Ullman came up to you and said you were fired right on the spot? Did he even give you a chance to really explain yourself?
I only told Mr. Ullman the truth. I was frightened. The girl who was working in the bedroom looked at me when I walked out of the bathroom and said, "You look like you just saw a ghost." I told her that I did. I was upset that Mr. Ullman did not let me tell him everything. He just said I was lying. Another maid had told me stories about what she had heard. I actually found it very fascinating, although I never went out looking for any of the ghosts. I knew where all the suicides and killings had occurred since other maids had told me, but I never expected to actually see anything. No one ever really did, and if they did, they didn't say anything about it.
Could that be why Mr. Ullman fired you?
I don't exactly know why he fired me, but I can't change what he chooses to do. Part of me wishes I hadn't told him anything, and I could still have my job.
Can you tell me what you saw in the room? Maybe tell us a little bit about what the ghost looked like.
Well, it was a young lady laying in the bathtub. She had blonde hair. At first I was afraid that I'd walked in on someone, and I apologized and left, closing the door. I moved on to another room and cleaned it, and then went back to the room 217. The other maid was in there already cleaning the room. She said no one was in the bathroom, so I went in and started cleaning. After a while, I saw the girl behind me, now wearing clothes. She looked at me and walked out of the room into the living part of the room. I walked out and asked the other maid if she had seen her, and she said no.
Well, then, what did you do?
I went back to work. I had to get my job done. I told Mr. Ullman about what I saw later.
Did you or the other maid ever discuss what you had seen that day?
No, I pretty much kept it to myself. I was afraid of what she would think of me.
Now, to move on, I understand the new family is going to stay at the Overlook Hotel during the off-season. Do you know anything more about that you can tell me? Some insider scoop?
Yes, ma'am, they are. And from what I understand, the family is looking forward to it.
Why does the hotel close at this time of the year? I would think it could be the busiest time of the year for the hotel. I mean, it is an area of Utah that gets a lot of snow.
In fact, it's winter. It's closed because it's apparently too hard to get to in the winter because of the snow. The snow gets very high in this part of Utah. It gets so high, you can hardly even open the front door to the hotel.